All right, let's dive into one of the big questions. How do you actually get rich? Today, we're unpacking the incredible wisdom of Naval Ravikant, a truly legendary Silicon Valley entrepreneur and investor. We're going to explore his playbook for building wealth in today's world. Now, this isn't about getting lucky or picking hot stocks. It's about a complete mindset shift, a different way of thinking about your work, your time, and your money. So, let's get into it.
Naval kicks things off with this pretty blunt truth. You see, most of us are taught a simple formula. We trade our time for money. But as he points out, that path has a very real, very hard ceiling. It's a trap, really, even if it's a high-paying one. To build real wealth, we have to throw that model out and start with a totally new approach. So, if the traditional path is a trap, we've got to ask, what's the actual problem? I mean, why isn't just working harder and harder the answer? Let's get to the very heart of how income really works. I want you to picture a farmer, okay? This guy works like crazy from sunrise to sunset every single day. He's the definition of hardworking. But at the end of the day, his output is fundamentally tied to his own physical effort and the number of hours he can work. This is the core problem for most of us. Your input is directly linked to your output. Okay, let's put the two paths side by side because this is where it all clicks. On the left, you've got salaried work. Your time is the input, money is the output. It's a one-to-one deal. When you stop working, maybe you're on vacation, maybe you're just sleeping, the money stops coming in. But look at the right side. Ownership flips this whole thing on its head. You own assets, a business, a piece of software, whatever, that are earning for you 24/7, completely independent of your time. This is the absolute key. You have to decouple your time from your money.
So to escape that time for money trap, we need to change our goal entirely. The goal isn't just to earn money, it's to build wealth. And according to Naval, those two things are worlds apart.
Here's the most important definition you'll hear today. Wealth isn't just the money sitting in your bank account. Money is just a tool. It's how we move wealth around. True wealth is the underlying thing, the asset that's productive and spits out income all by itself. Think of it this way. Wealth is the factory, not just the cash it produces.
So what do these wealth-generating assets actually look like in the real world? Well, they could be stocks, which are just little pieces of ownership in other companies. They could be code you've written that's running on a server, providing a service to thousands of people. Or hey, it could be media, a video, a podcast, that people can find and enjoy long after you've made it. These are all little engines of wealth working for you around the clock. All right, so we get the what and the why. But that's the easy part, right? The real question is how? How in the world do you actually build these assets? Well, Naval lays out a surprisingly clear and actionable playbook. The whole strategy really breaks down into 3 big steps. First, you have to discover your specific knowledge, the thing you are uniquely good at. Then, you use leverage to scale that knowledge up. And finally, you have to be patient and let the magic of compounding do its thing over time. Let's break each of these down. Step 1 is all about finding your specific knowledge. This isn't about chasing the latest trend or what you think you should be doing. No, this is about looking inward. What are you just genuinely deeply curious about? What skills do you have that feel like play to you but look like hard work to everybody else? It's that unique combination of your passions and abilities that you've been building your whole life, maybe without even realizing it. I just love this idea. It's so powerful. When you build on your authentic interests and skills, you basically create a monopoly of one. Nobody else has your exact life experience, your unique curiosities, your perspective. That right there is your competitive advantage. So stop trying to compete in a crowded field. Go build your own field, where you're the only one playing. Now for step 2, leverage. Leverage is how you scale up that specific knowledge. For most of history, there were 2 main types: labor, having people work for you, and capital, using money to make more money. But they both required something huge: permission. You needed people to agree to follow you, or you needed investors to give you their cash. But the revolution of our time is this third type: code and media. And the magic word here is permissionless. You can write code or create media and distribute it to the entire planet for basically 0 cost. And you don't have to ask for anyone's approval. This is a modern-day superpower. And here's the crucial thing to understand about leverage. It acts as a force multiplier for your judgment. The quality of your thinking and your decisions becomes way more important than how many hours you clock in. Let me show you how this works. Imagine 2 CEOs managing a $100 million fund. CEO B is just 10% better at making decisions. That small edge gets them an extra $10 million. Pretty good, right?
but now give CEO B some serious leverage, say a billion-dollar fund or a software product that can scale to millions of users. That same 10% edge in judgment doesn't lead to a $10 million outcome. It can lead to a billion-dollar outcome. That's why judgment, amplified by leverage, is the real skill of creating wealth.
And finally, step 3, patience. You know, all the truly great returns in life, in your wealth, in your relationships, in your knowledge, they all come from the magic of compound interest. It's about playing long-term games with long-term people. The big rewards almost never come overnight. They come from sticking with something and letting the gains build on themselves, year after year after year.
So after all this talk about assets and leverage and compounding, what is the actual point? I mean, why go through all this trouble? Well, it turns out the ultimate goal isn't just to be rich. The goal is to be free.
Naval has this just beautiful redefinition of retirement. It's not an age, it's not a number in your bank account. It is the point where you stop sacrificing your today for some imaginary tomorrow. It's when your passive income covers all your expenses, and you have officially bought back your own time. You can finally spend your days doing what you truly want to do, not what you feel you have to do. That right there is the ultimate prize.
And that brings us to the final question, the one for you to take away. Thinking about everything we've covered, what's that unique intersection of your passions and skills? What's that thing that feels like play to you? And how can you start applying some of this permissionless leverage, through code or media, to share it with the world? The tools have never been easier to get your hands on. The only question is, what will you build?